Okay, the USSR turn 5. They have 40 IPCs to spend. They're going to spend 14 on a tank and 2 mechanized infantry, 6 on 2 infantry, and then 20 on 4 infantry and 2 artillery. They will be making a series of attacks around the board. They're sending an artillery from Belarus and an artillery from western Ukraine into eastern Poland. They're sending a tank from western Ukraine into Romania, and they're sending 2 tanks, 3 artillery from Bessarabia into Romania. They're also supporting that with 2 infantry from the Caucasus, which will be amphibious landed in Romania. This attack will also be supported by a fighter from the Ukraine as well. Other attacks. Down south there in Greece, there's 2 Russian units. One will go to Albania, one will go to Bulgaria. And then over here in Novosibirsk, the Japanese infantry will be attacked by the infantry from Samara and the fighter and the tactical bomber from Russia. In the east, actually let's make that 4. 4 infantry from Manchuria are going to attack Korea. And actually let's do that. Everything else is going into Jehol with the exception of a tank and a mech, which will be blitzing through to Shahar. So that's, I think, all of the battles that we have. So let's roll some dice. Okay, in the battle for Korea, 4 Russian infantry coming in against a Japanese infantry. All misses to start. Hit. Glad I got that 4th gun. All misses. Miss. Hit. Miss. So Russia takes the territory with 1 casualty. The attack on Novosibirsk is a attack bomber at 4, fighter at 3, infantry at 1. Hit with the fighter. Japanese defense. Hit. So territory not taken, but the infantry is killed. Okay, this is the attack on eastern Poland. 2 artillery. Both misses against an infantry. Hit. 1 for 1. Hit. Hit. So Germany keeps the territory but loses the infantry, and Russia loses both artillery. Okay, here's the Russian attack on Romania. This is technically an amphibious assault. The SS Zirianin is bringing 2 infantry, which will be supported by the 3 artillery that are coming in from Bessarabia. There are also 3 tanks coming in, 2 from Bessarabia and 1 from western Ukraine. And there's a fighter supporting the attack as well. Defending for the Germans in the minor axis, 2 German Luftwaffe planes, a fighter and a tactical bomber, 3 Romanian infantry and a Romanian artillery. So we have 3 3s and 5 2s. Three hits. So that's all the infantry dead. So we have a fighter, attack bomber. Oops, there should be 3 infantry there. 3 infantry and an artillery. 2 hits, so that's the infantry gone. These guys are gone. These guys are gone. Attack will continue. 2 hits. So that's the artillery and the tactical bomber. 2, 3, 4. 2 hits, so that's 2 of the 3 artillery. And of course we're going to keep going. 2 hits, they only needed 1. And miss. So Russia takes the territory, and that's a capital. That's the minor Axis capital, so they're going to get some money out of this too. So they only lost 2 artillery and 2 infantry. Non-combat. 1 infantry from Belarus is going to move to Archangel as a blocker. The 2 infantry from Ukraine are going to move to Bessarabia. The plane involved in the Romania assault is going to land back in Ukraine. And the 2 planes involved in the Novosibirsk attack are going to end up back in the airbase in Russia. So that's that. Back in a sec. Okay, placement of new units. The mechanized infantry, 2 mechanized infantries and a tank are going into Ukraine. 2 artillery and 4 infantry are going into Russia. Oops. And finally, way over in Saka, we're going to put 2 infantry in our military base there. Okay, let's do changes to income. In the east, Russia picks up Korea and liberates Shahar and Jahol for China. So China's going to go up 2, Russia's going to go up 3, and Japan's going to go down 5. So Japan goes from 36 to 31, Russia goes up 3 to 35, and China goes up 2 to 13. In the European theater, we're going to get 3 for Romania, 1 for Bulgaria, and 1 for Albania. So that's 5, and that's going to be all at the expense of the minor Axis powers. So plus 5 takes us from 35 to 40, and minor Axis from 10 to 5. So southern flank is a little troubling at this point. There's a lot of Allied material there. Okay, so income, they get their 40 base, and they captured 7 IPCs from the Bulgarians for from the Romanians for taking the minor Axis capital. So that's going to be 47 IPCs in the bank for next turn. And let's do our disposition of forces. There's an infantry in Archangel and infantry in Belarus. In the Balkan area here, we have an infantry in Albania and infantry in Bulgaria. 3 tanks and an artillery in Romania, 2 infantry in Bessarabia, a fighter, a tank, and 2 mechanized infantry in Ukraine, and then a transport ship in C-Zone 100. That's been incredibly useful in this game. Actually, speaking of which, I'm going to change the placements, and I'm going to put 2 more guys in the Caucasus and take 2 guys away from the guys we just placed in Russia, because yeah, that this transport has been extraordinarily useful. Okay, in Russia we have a fighter, a tactical bomber, 3 artillery, 3 infantry, and an anti-aircraft gun. In Saka, 2 infantry. In Korea, 3 infantry. In Jahol, 2 artillery, 1 mechanized infantry, 3, 6, 9, 12, 16 infantry. And then a tank and a mechanized infantry in Shahar. So that's Russia's turn. Japan's up next. Japan has a Russia problem. They also are increasingly having an Anzac problem in the south. So let's see what they do next. Japan's up.